Um, okay, it says live now. So really quickly, I need to share this out with people. I don't tend to do this usually. I typically would like to not be talking or doing this kind of stuff when I start, but oh no, I hear myself. There we go. Okay, so anyway, I'm just going to share this out really fast for people, and then we'll get started. I don't really do this usually. So today is a crazy day. There's a lot of amazing energies moving through right now. There's been some really cool synchronicities with some of the planetary stuff that's been in alignment lately. I know that everybody's kind of feeling this energy moving through right now, but it's kind of a relief energy. Thank goodness, right? Um, and I just got one more place to share it. Thank you for your patience. Okay, here we go. But we were gonna do this in our normal format where it streams simultaneously on Facebook and YouTube, though technology is not always in alignment with what we're trying to do that with that. So anyway. Good morning. I'm higher vibrations, and so are you. And welcome to this wonderful conversation. I see that Kylie's here. Welcome, Kylie. Um, Today, I've have the honor of having a beautiful conversation with my sister here. So many amazing gifts and synchronicities since I first started to talk with you have it as your other name on your Zoom. I just noticed Anaì as the name that we're using here, and it says the other name, right? Do you want to change it?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, let me hear it for you. I should have I probably shouldn't have brought attention to it. Um okay,
I
okay,
cannot see it actually. So,
okay, there we
oh,
are. So thank you so
fine.
much for joining. How are you today?
Hello, hello, and good evening. I'm actually in Denmark, so it's evening here. I'm quite fine, thank you. A little bit excited and also nervous. It's
Yes.
the first time for me to do something like that. So,
Wow. Well, should we get started?
yeah, let's do
Okay.
that.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. I see people in the audience saying hello, welcome. So you're in Denmark now. Is this where you've been most of your life, or you just where'd your life start?
Yes, well, I come from Eastern Europe actually. I have emigrated more than 15 years ago to Denmark, and here is my life now. And yeah, so I actually have a mixed background.
Awesome. I just love your accent so much, and I'm sure that other people are going to feel the same way. It's a lulling, like relaxing, calming voice that you have, and with the accent in alignment with that frequency of your voice, it's you have a beautiful frequency. Thank you
Oh,
for
thank you.
yeah.
I've actually I was working with my throat chakra lately because this was a an issue for me earlier, and hopefully is getting cleared out. And yeah, so yes, I hope it will be really nice soon because I have a dream to sing really well, so
Oh,
I hope it comes true. Yeah.
that's beautiful. Ah, I'm sure. Yes, you have an amazing voice. Um, when did you first start to connect in this way? Like it sounds like this is a because every one of us have this place. And right now in this time frequency that we're in, what's really happening is all of the people who became adults that wanted to be something when they grew up, they're starting to do those things as they're grown up. And I'm just curious how long this joy of singing has been in your life.
Well, I think it was there always. It's just as a child, I was quite shy and perhaps, somehow limited in expressing myself. Kind of love like playing small, perhaps, that kind of stuff. So I wasn't been able to shine my light, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. I've I've been honored to get to watch you remove the lid that we all keep, off on ourself, of like this covering of this shielding of showing ourselves, and um I hope that it's okay. I'm sure it is just okay to say this, that I've been so honored to have been meeting with you over the course of the past year or so, and to watch the evolution of you and to
Well,
watch
thank
the
you.
blooming. Yeah, yeah,
Likewise, actually, I'm quite lucky to have to get to know you and work with you, and also, well, now understand that we share more than this life together. We are soul sisters, and it is quite an exciting journey, I must say. And oh man, if I look back, at least 1.5 years ago, I would never have dreamed that I would be here now,
yeah,
because the events have accelerated so quickly for me with this awakening, and with working with my guides, and it came suddenly and so strongly, so I was just, I mean, I'm just blown away by all this stuff lately. Being where I was, and where I'm now, it's like, I mean, it's two different persons. And now I'm getting that, a couple of months ago, my human timeline has been ended. And now I am on the ascension timeline, so this is so crazy. Because, I mean, what? And I have just been awakened, and then they told me that it's been accelerated, and this is the moment I should have been awakened, and it's the perfect moment. And I was like, why haven't I been awakened before? Like, I could have done something, perhaps, I don't know, for the human collective and stuff. So yeah, and it's just like this divine timing, and you also validated that. So I mean, yeah, but
yeah.
still, I'm still new to all of this, and yeah,
That's such an awesome experience to have such a rapid change in mind and body and frequency. When was that
it's
what
crazy.
what date, like, or year around that really started to happen for you? Your awakening really became your reawakening is probably what it more correctly was. Though when would you say that was?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking back, I can, see the puzzles coming together. It was actually previously in my life where I always had this connection with birds, and always had this and that and stuff happening, kind of like manifesting or trying to play with something, kind of like, but I was just thinking that it's normal. I thought the other people can do that as well,
Yeah.
maybe sometimes reading thoughts, but it was like, oh, okay, maybe it's just, I was a bit sensitive as a child, and also always looking at the stars, always looking at the stars, and but I mean, it came uh, onto me like an avalanche. Um, I think this summer, actually, the end of the summer,
Yeah.
and it came, and all the guides suddenly, and this telepathic communication, and all the healings, and all the guidance, and also, for me, the validation was that I was struggling with an autoimmune disease,
Mm.
actually with my thyroid, because I mentioned that I had this problem with my throat chakra, and yeah, it was healed right away, like in like instantly almost. And
Mhm.
so yeah, it was crazy. I mean, really crazy. And now, yes, I'm supposed to be doing something for the human collective, which I'm still figuring out with my guides. So yeah, this is me. But they say that I'm still a baby, so I need a lot of learning.
Well, we are all, like, it's those of us who've been doing a little bit longer have no measurement. It's not a comparison of any kind, like, I would say that you got more balls because the type of uh rapid change that you went through, I'm
Yeah, I mean it's amazing. And I remember I had this, kind of like, okay, you are going through a healing and a BB beam, and it was like at night, and then some kind of integration and activations during like the following 2 days, and then again and again, and it was kind of intense. But now, like when I talk to them, and I'm kind of finding out who I am and where I come from, it makes sense to me. And yeah, and it also suddenly made sense to me why I was struggling all my life with being so different. I mean,
yeah.
I was always a bit different, and mm, wasn't so problematic, but kind of like struggling to understand people, and I was always so introvert, and yeah, just trying to figure out what's wrong with me,
Right.
Yeah, finally, I understand. This is wrong with me. I'm actually not from here, so this is wrong with me.
This is
Yeah,
right with you.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. There's there's so much rapid change that everybody had this last summer, starting in March, which we're in the window of again, so there's a lot of really cool stuff happening again, but this is like you're up in the ante every time that we're doing something, and so all of the activations that we're already having, dude, this calendar year has been amazing for activations already.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just, rewinding back now. I remember I also, because, it was at a time in April that my cat, she had an accident, and her leg was broken. So the vet said that she would be limping. And I remember I was just kind of like petting her, and suddenly I started to feel this heat in
Yeah.
my hand, and I was like, okay, I need to heal her, some knowing. So she was healed. She was healed rather quickly. She didn't limp. And after that, I actually started healing all my family members just with my hand, because I knew that when I'm drawing it across the body, and I can like scan where is the heat coming, and then I can hold it, and it's happening rather quickly, because I am kind of like, I understood that I'm not the one who is doing like taking a lot of time for healings, because I like everything to do quickly. So
Mm.
it's like 5-10 minutes, and then it's done. So yeah, so this was also kind of like, wow, okay, I can do that. Yeah, nice. And yeah, so I mean,
Wow. So when you do this, what is it like for you when you do this healing? Like you mentioned the sensation of heat. Is there any
yeah.
other like visuals, or what are you thinking you're doing? Like, do you sense the energy, and where is it going? Like, are you bringing it into yourself, sending it down?
Yes, well, the thing is that I actually wanted always to help people, and this is coming from my heart.
Yeah.
But I know that I have to connect to source and wrap myself in the grand central sun, like Alcyon. And then the energy is actually coming from the source across this ball of light, and then to the person. So it's not coming from me. It's just I'm just the channeler of this energy. It's great because I can help, and it's really, I mean, I'm really, really excited. And then, events from November 23 started started happening to me so quickly, because I was guided to take some coaching courses and take some courses in communication, and actually trying to train my voice, and express my feelings, and everything with the voice, so I could like speak it out, and now I'm sitting here, and I can see that I'm not so nervous as I was before, where I could have the same, gathering like a live stream or something, and I would be so nervous.
Right.
And now it feels almost natural. I'm a bit nervous, of course, but I mean, not as before. So and now I'm getting this coaching certificate. I mean, it's not big deal, but I mean, this is something because I understand that I should use my voice, and also because somehow it's healing people or whatever. Or maybe I just didn't figure it out all the way, but somehow I should use my voice and also the healing stuff, and then I could really help.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
This is
I'm really glad and I'm excited about that. Yes.
I've sensed this with you too. I know we talked about this, so I won't go into it, but this is definitely a skill set. Everybody has a connection to all of their these gifts that we're talking about, by the way, and like all of them, even the ones we haven't brought up. It's simply getting to our own spiritual evolution to where we're mature enough or tall enough to reach that shelf, where those
Right,
gifts
right,
are, and
right.
so.
It's actually really true.
Mhm. And this is a good example of what to do to get to that point that you've been doing, like what this is with intention, and this is also utilizing the energy coming through right now, and so you only just back in April, so you healed your cat, then you healed your own thyroid. I remember the thyroid thing happening.
Yes.
And then you started to heal all of the family members in your family. So, and that's just, this, it's not even been an entire year. That's really cool.
Yes, this is cool, but I'm also getting that we all have this ability.
Yes.
It's just to learn to use it. I mean, we can all do that.
Yeah.
So I mean, sure, I could help a person in the beginning, but I could also like teach the person how to do that
Yeah.
themselves. So I don't need to. The person is not dependent on me, anymore. They are their own kind of sparkle, divine sparkle, with the connection to the God source.
Definitely. Exactly. Oh, hey, what color is the light? Does it change when you're doing different? Have you noticed that when you when you're bringing in God's light and making the dome and that whole energy healing space, what color do you see is, or does it change?
It's quite interesting because I previously I was mostly working with rainbow. You
Yeah.
can see here,
Yeah.
but actually lately I was guided to use sunlight,
Yeah.
like this golden bright white light, and also the blue light of Alcyon. So this is the colors I'm using, but maybe it is personal for every, I mean, starseed or every light worker, because it depends also where they're coming from, and
Mhm.
what is their what is their like source, what source they're using for channeling their energy, because we all our souls, we have an energy signature, so we project it into this world, but we can also anchor it from where we're coming from.
Yeah.
So I think I'm anchoring something from where I'm coming from, and then just channeling it here so that we could all move to the new earth.
Yeah. Hey, well said. Well said. I
Yeah.
I feel this as well. Excuse me. I see it too. When I pull out and look at it with the spiritual mind, like the astral mind, and I see the earth, I do see it as if it looks like a pincushion of lights, beams of light coming off of all these different many points on the planet. They're also linked like like in the circus, the trapeze, they have that kind of webbing. It's not like, a spider web. It's perfectly, you know, um, and these are us connecting to each other in these arcs, of light. And then there's also an arcing above that I've always kind of understood as these are like our higher selves, like making this energy. Um, It's really so. I before I forget to ask, you mentioned I'm going to try to say it correctly. That you utilize the light from Alcyone. What is this? If you
Alcyon, this is a star in the Pleiades constellation.
I thought so.
Yes. And also they say that we are aligned to, our sun is aligned to Alcyon at this moment and then to the central sun of our galaxy. So it's like, you know, our sun, then Alcyon, and then the central, ground central sun.
What's the name of the Grand Central Sun? Do you know?
Just Grand Central Sun, they say.
Yes.
I'm not sure. Maybe either someone with good astronomical knowledge then could tell, but
Something just came forward not too long ago with my daughter in conversation. You know how my daughter, is so in tune and stuff, but
sure.
she came over and it was a conversation that led us to this, which is usually how it works. But anyway, it turns out that why that they found the oldest known sun, and it's, I mean, as far as uh they understand, astrophysicists and all this, or wait, I'm not sure how to say it. Anyway, the scientist people, um, they don't understand how it can be explained that this sun is its age is older than everything else. So it's saying that the sun was there before anything else was there, which is very much like some of the stories that we tell. And this particular sun is called Methuselah.
Oh,
Methuselah was Noah's grandfather who lived to be, hey, it's 2:22 p.m., lived to be, I believe, 936 years old. It was 930 or 963 or something like that. But anyway, it's fascinating that that came forward. So I'm wondering, when they found that, I thought to myself, is that the central sun? It would be cool.
maybe, maybe.
So this LCO that you connect with, how do you do that? Is there like because that's where you come from, you're able to connect to it naturally, or is there like an intention saying, I want to connect to you now? Or like, do you find you can connect to different energy lines like this?
You know what? It's interesting because I do not come from Alcyon, actually. It's strange, but I was guided to because now the Alcyon, as I told you before, is aligned with our sun. So that's why we can connect easier. And it's really powerful, Alcyon, and also all the suns, all the stars, as well as the other elements, they have consciousness. And they're really powerful. They're like, gods of gods of gods, if one can say that, God source, God source, God source,
Yeah,
kind of like, and yeah, I was just guided to because it's closest to us and it's really powerful right now with the light.
that makes sense. That's cool. I love that you have such a varied knowledge because you really do. You just kind of, and you're doing these things naturally. There's a question that and many people tend to have in the beginning that, it's when I was guided to start YouTube, it was at the time that I was to start it was because I needed to hurry and start documenting things while I was still in it. And so you're so fresh from it. This would be useful for people to know. How in the beginning did you initiate or start your connection with your guides in like a way that you could understand that you were speaking with them?
Well, I was meditating. I started meditating in 2020. And, I was just doing stuff like everybody does, going through chakras and washing myself in God's light. And then I think I was just guided because now looking back, I was always guided. I didn't hear the voices, but somehow I always think I was asked to answer some questions, just talking with myself, like going taking a tour in the forest, and then suddenly I realized it's like I'm talking to somebody. I mean, they are asking me, what do you like about this forest now? And I'm like, wow, look, it's so beautiful, kind of stuff. It was before. And then during the meditations, I was asking like, Archangel Michael to help me clear everything that doesn't serve me anymore. And like Archangel Raphael to wrap me in green light and help me heal. And Archangel Gabriel actually to recalibrate my chakras and help me, integrate my light body and also connect with my divine family of light.
Mm.
So I was saying that like for a like I don't know, a year. My divine family of light, I would like to connect. So it was me who initiated,
Yeah.
you know, because as I understand they are not coming like that. I think we have to initiate somehow because they don't like us to be startled or just being afraid or something. So somehow when you integrate the power of being, this mighty I am presence within you, and then you feel that you are, able freely to connect with your divine family of light, because you also have to understand that they are not necessarily look like us, So yeah, and then, after a while, I started, when I was meditating, I started seeing different visions of worlds and also my family. And sometimes they would come like felines, for instance, because I'm a hybrid and part of my family is from Sirius.
Mm.
So, yeah, I mean, you have to be prepared, to not necessarily see human faces. And some other time it was like a beautiful, women's face. And I was like, wow, who are you? And she was like, I'm you from the future. She was like really beautiful, but she had this blue kind of like blue nuance, blue shadow about her. She was not really like me and I, like me and you, sorry. Yes, so I mean, quite an interesting journey. And then after a while, I just started hearing, um, I mean, like words or something, and then perhaps they would ask me to go to a place and meditate and perhaps say like a sentence, but it's more like, this imagery that is coming, like information being downloaded in, um not like images,
Yeah.
like I can see kind of like a movie or something, and then I could ask what is that and what is that, and I get words because I understand that if they would be speaking with me all the time, it would be overwhelming
Yeah. Yeah.
also for me, because hearing the voices
Okay.
kind of stuff. So I mean, yeah, it's very interesting.
That's
Very
all.
interesting.
Thank you. I resonate with a lot of what you said. Like, and I tend to get images and pictures, and I've been calling it for years and years and years now. I've been calling it the cartoons in my head, and like before I was telling people where it was coming from, I would it was always wise words. In the old days when I was very young, they would just say that was divine guidance, but they didn't, that's but it's usually these moving images. It's like a movie, and they don't always even feel like they're done by the same artist, like it's a whole different, and they just
Right, right. Yes, yes, that's right. And
yeah,
also, yeah, and another thing I remembered, you just sense different energies. I'm not sure how sensitive different people are, but I mean, I was always a bit sensitive about the energies. And I just sense what energy is coming, and I know now I work with a team of guides, and so I sense their energy and also my higher self. So the name of that I'm using is the name of my higher self, actually, Anaì.
what does it mean?
I get that this is just a part of my name, of the name of my higher self, because I cannot just get the other part because I cannot withstand the power. It has some kind of like signature, so I'm not ready yet to know the whole name. So
Yeah,
this is something like that.
awesome. Well,
I mean, what does it mean? I don't know. It just means something else. I don't know. Something else with my name. Actually, I didn't ask. Maybe I should. Okay. Thank you.
it feels very strong. Like it has it that like it means many things. If like it has something powerful about it. Its name. Names are the reason we do the way that we do, really, it's the frequency that it holds when you're saying it. Like there's all of like, Elsa Dillon, when she and I do shows, you can see examples of that. You can see how you pull down, break apart parts of words and names and things, and you find a whole different. And for this word, this name, I find it to be very strong. Like, like it's good strong. Like it's not, it's confidence. It's love too, it's kind of a divine mother type of name, or closely related at the very least. I can feel that. And I love it. I love that this came to you around the same time that I got this whole name thing for me came up, and like
Yeah.
it's just
So
been, it's amazing how many people that same window of time had a name thing happen. Like I can't, but I'm so impressed by all the people who have emailed me and have brought this up. But the other thing I wanted to add for anyone who is trying to connect to their guides or their higher self, usually it's guides, and we have, by the way, a whole team of guides, and often we'll have pairs coming through at certain phases of our development, and so that's up to change occasionally, but they don't go away. You can always call on them, individually. Um, I bring this forward because I found it most useful to ask what their names are. And for me, and for some people I've talked to, I mean, everybody's different. Um, it sounds like my own voice when I hear things that come through. Like I'm fascinated by how many people don't actually hear their own voice in their heads. When that came through, is like, what? And like the people who didn't were like, wow, that must be really loud and all the time, always hearing yourself talk. It's like not like that. But anyway, it's a thing. And those who hear their own voice in their heads, often most of what you're hearing is channeling. It's some channeled information, a conversation, ideas that pop into our head, things like this. It's a gift. Most often, it's not really. It's just that we're open to the channel of it. Um, anyway, asking their name and giving names really does help, I found. It's like you said, you called specifically on Archangel Michael, you called specifically on individuals. And this is for us to connect to that specific frequency more than the other way. It just helps, like you said, because consent is paramount in most of these kinds of, they don't want to alarm us. I get that all the time. I'm being told that all the time. Everything's meant to be gradual due to the shock that people would likely experience. It's
yes,
not meant to shock anybody.
yes, yes. I remember. Well, when I saw, in my like mind's eye, shall I say that, these felines coming in my meditation, but they were this energy. It was so loving, and I was like, "Oh, you're so cute," and they were like holding me and embracing me, and you know, so interesting. And then just after that, I was actually noticing my own cat. She was looking at me with different eyes. Um, and somehow I sense that they can use animals' eyes to perhaps send some love or something, because suddenly I could sense that maybe it's not really my cat looking at me, because it was like, really like this intelligent, like kind of, and kind of like love or something. I don't know. And like something like, oh, I'm so proud of you. I'm like, oh, yes, wow, my cat is proud of me. It was really, I mean, amazing and crazy at the same time.
It's beautiful. So
Yeah.
it's a
I mean,
library group.
yeah, even it's beautiful and also crazy because I'm sitting and talking about these things and when I'm looking back, like, can you imagine I was an IT developer like 3 years ago,
Wow.
like for a bank? I mean, really
Wow.
like boring stuff, and I mean, it's like crazy. I mean, I wouldn't have if you would have told me then what will I be doing now? It's like I would have like no way. I mean, what? I mean, you're crazy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, um,
I know exactly what you're saying. I mean, everybody here does too. I mean, like all of us. You know, you can do that for last week. You can, I mean, you could do that for last month. You could do that for, you don't have to go very
no,
far back to find somebody who's not you at all anymore. You know,
no,
you,
I mean, I would have like run away and I mean, hid under the ocean because it's like, but suddenly it came so organically because I started having this. I felt that I don't belong there anymore, kind of stuff. I
yeah.
just quit. And I had a period where I was just at home, just being at home and figuring out what is happening because I was not happy with myself, kind of stuff, for a while. And then, yeah, little by little, I started these meditations and I was also led to read a lot of books about star seeds and Dolores Cannon. I
Mm.
don't know if you know her with quantum healing. And, suddenly, especially when I was reading those books about star seeds, appealed those star seeds like from Sirius and Arcturus, they appealed to me somehow. And then when I was reading about them at night, I was just kind of having these visions where I was getting some kind of like diamonds set into me, and I was like, what should I do with them? And they were like, you should put it in your heart chakra or something, because it is an activation. And I was like, okay, so I was like, I
Yeah.
mean, kind of, I don't know. And then it was kind of gradual, everything, organic, um, I think. Yeah. So
The nature
interesting.
of that happening so gradual is always how it makes it so you can attain it. Like it's like the exact same. I mean, you were a banker, I was a social worker, like it's involved, invested like the world I lived in because where I was in the job that I took and just being present in that field for a time, I was one of those people that would ensure that there was staff taking care of clients that had intellectual disabilities and stuff. And my main job was to take them to the doctor and give them more and more meds. And
Yeah.
like, I mean, that really was what it came down to. And I didn't even understand it fully until I was all the way out of it. I had then all of a sudden, in 2007, been told that I had a fatal illness, systemic scleroderma, and I had months to live.
Oh
And
my. Really? Okay,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, I was, yeah, they were surprised I was still alive. Yeah, it was this whole thing, and I went through a whole, but that I didn't want to participate in the medication. I would say that part of me probably didn't do the medication because part of me was just glad to be gone. I'm like, good.
I understand.
You know what? I was suicidal a lot throughout my life. I wasn't suicidal when the results came in, but which made me angry. I'm like, now I finally want to live, and now I'm gonna die, really. Anyway, I needed to do this process. I healed myself too if I had it. I'm still here. It's 2024,
Yeah,
but
exactly. I'm laughing because I was also told if I'm off medications that I would die in like, I mean, something like a year or something, without medications. So
Right. And, you know, I mean,
yeah,
medications have only been introduced recently. There's a whole rabbit hole that we could jump down into this all kind of, there's all kinds of debate and some people have like this thing about it, but when it comes down to is if it works for your body, it works for your body. If it doesn't,
right.
don't,
Yeah,
you
right,
know,
right.
and like I definitely know I prefer the natural remedies. There's stuff that grows in your yard because it knows that you need it. And we have a biodome, and that's why food from your own garden or from the farmer's market tastes so much better. It's not shipped in from a different place. Not to mention whatever has been added onto it, and like so if that's true, and I found out some really cool things. You can make cough syrup so easy and it's so much fun just using flowers, the right ones. Anyway, why am I saying all of this? Is that I don't have an opinion. I do know that some people find benefit from medication, and for me, so far, all medications presented to me at this time, they're not in favor of my body, and so I don't do it. And it works out too because I'm marked as they marked me as a drug seeker at the doctor place because I don't, because for a while there, I was going in and I wasn't worried but I wanted to be sure. I was having these ascension symptoms, and I'm like, well, if I'm telling people on YouTube this is an ascension symptom, I mean, you should be sure that I'm good,
Yeah,
and it looked like a hypochondriac. I was going in and they're like, you're healthier than you were last time, kind of stuff. And then they wrote me as a drug seeker, even though I never filled any of their prescriptions. I always threw them away. I always threw the paper away. Anyway, but you can find that often when we are having these things, most often the doctors don't really know what's going on. That in my experience, if it's an ascension symptom, what I mean by that is if it's an ascension symptom, sometimes they'll just say, well, why don't you just try this? And maybe that, and maybe a little this. And like they don't really always know because it's something more. We're going through an upgrade
it's
of our
true.
mind and
It's true.
body.
Yes, I actually remember when I was going through my healings, it's so amazing how much we accumulate during our lives and past lives. And all this, because we have all these bodies, this physical body and an emotional body and mental body, spiritual body. And then they were showing me what kind of emotions and what trauma is related to which side of the body and which organ when they were like helping me with the healing. So like, this side, the left side is like divine feminine and this is the divine masculine, and then different organs are related to different, emotions. Like for instance, liver is with anger and anxiety and stuff like that. So while they were healing it, I kind of really, started to look differently at my body because it is really, it has done a wonderful job of
Yeah.
going through all of that, all of these healings and all of these upgrades and activations. And still, I can feel myself, Sometimes I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe I have signed for this, you should show me the contract because sometimes I was just like, okay, you know what, it's enough because I delete every contract and I don't want to participate in this ascension anymore. But I mean, we cannot do that. Once we're in, the train is out, and then yeah,
Yeah.
it's a joyride.
It is. And I am that person that when they say keep your hands and feet in at all times, I put my hands up. Like I'm that person, that does that and then I actually almost flew all the way out of a roller coaster one time
Oh
because
my.
I didn't expect that I actually needed to hold on. but there was just a bar that went over the top of my lap, and yeah, I almost went out. It was awesome. Because I was going like this, and that's me. And then I always seem to so what I'm trying to say is that I'll jump all the way and then I'll like, oh, wait a minute. And then I fall. But there's a saying in my family. I was born breech. I was born backwards. Like my feet came first. And like they always say that I always do everything backwards, but I always land on my feet.
Like a cat.
Yeah. And speaking of cats, I would love to ask you is about the Lyrans a little bit, if that's okay.
Sure.
Your connection, you brought it up earlier, and this truly fascinates me because everybody's experiences are different. Like you'll have a conversation with somebody, and you'll be a different person each time that you talk to a different person, I guess is what I mean. So what is that experience like for you? Would you describe it as if I've never heard of them?
With Lyrans, um, it's like I always see this lion coming to me while I meditate, and I don't know. Also, that I remember this feeling of petting this. What's it called? Like this mane of a lion, right?
Yes,
Maybe
yes, me,
like
yes.
petting. The feeling of these hairs coming like in memories.
Yeah.
Also, I get that it could be my quantum father, but I'm not sure. Because I mean, we only get this information when we're ready, as I understand, because they don't give us information if we're not ready, because you have to be powerful to hold it. Otherwise, too much too soon is like poison, as Dolores Cannon said. Because we deny it, we just throw it away, kind of, but we need to be able to integrate it and use it because this is us, this is us. So as much as it's coming and it's been downloading, but it's like we get a lot of downloads, but as I understand, it's like small buds, like flower buds in our cells, and they're like coming like little by little, like flowers, as soon as we are ready. And then it's like aha moments for us. This information is like, this new understandings or new knowings, or suddenly I get a remembrance of something, and it's like, wow, okay, interesting. So it's coming like that.
Yeah. It's like
So
puzzle.
it's gradual. It's not like you're not showered with everything and then you're sitting in shock for the rest of your life. I mean, for me, I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
other people.
This is how I experience a lot of things too. I feel like a lot of people probably do. It's like, and then you get to a point where you kind of fully kind of start to comprehend all the pieces of the puzzles that they gave, puzzle pieces that they given you.
Yeah.
And then you look back and see that there's a lot more puzzle pieces that you've had throughout your life and didn't even realize it.
Yes,
Um,
exactly. Like this thing with like birds, or like being led to meet you,
yeah.
and I after I sent you this email asking for a meeting online, and then I get this heart on my bathroom floor from a piece of a thread, but it was like this heart, and stuff like that. And then now looking back, it's like, wow, I was actually always being guided. It was not so strong, but then it came stronger because now we are responsible for something. We need to do something.
Mm. It's
um,
it's time. Yeah.
yeah, the time is close.
Yeah.
So
We're
everybody
here.
needs to do something. But what I'm getting is like the first thing we should do, which I also had a little difficulties, is always, practice forgiveness for me and others, no matter what they do, and always take others as they are, where they are. Even those who I think they are not awakened, they are also, divine sparkles of light. I mean, they are just on their own journey. And also, going through life with grace, and compassion, and these things which were not that familiar to me. I was more familiar previously with the programming we've got from the societal, structure, and societal programming, and I mean, yeah. So
Yeah.
gleaning all of that, just being the true me. This is so interesting now, because living with this open heart is, I think, it's much more interesting. Sometimes difficult, but I
Yeah.
mean,
It can be difficult. I mean, especially if we're resisting it, it's hard to
yeah,
know we're resisting it often, especially in the beginning, because all this crazy weird stuff's coming at us, and it's like, and we've been conditioned to resist things, like especially resisting the emotional body that moves through. As we resist it, we're pushing it back down and then we're kind of concealing or holding it, and we do that.
right.
That's why it's called emotion. It's such an easy coding that I hadn't noticed. Energy and motion, you hear it all the time. That's why it's called the emotion. It's energy and motion. It's supposed to move. It's not supposed to stick
That's
around.
actually so right. Because now I'm also being guided. When I feel something, I need to feel it.
Yeah.
I can no longer just, deny it or just throw it away. I need to feel it. So they are like always, you need to feel it to heal it. So
Mm.
I'm like sitting in it for quite some time, and I'm quite uncomfortable with all those emotions, like anger, different things. But I need to feel it. I think it's very actually difficult. I'm not used to that.
Yeah. We've been conditioned to recoil rather than resist, when the answer really is to lean into it. I only started to lean into it because um I had my last near-death experience in 2021. It was not too long ago. And it's just a whole thing that happened. And when this occurred, I had this experience that again happened every time that I had a near-death experience, but I was reminded every energy that came to meet me and wanted to know what it was like in being in this life, they wanted to know about the suffering. They wanted to know about the pain, the grief, the mourning, the loss. They wanted to know about what it's like to live within the illusion of separation from your fellows, from the land about you, the plants, separation, the illusion of the separation from you and God. They can't replicate that. They want to know what it is like to have things suck, basically. And I was
Yeah.
reminded again right when I needed to. And that's how I found out how to do it, is when I came back, um, and emotions like this started to come in, then I would actually start to savor them, because I knew when I came back that here we go. Here comes the big wave of awakening. And in the big wave of awakening, we're saying goodbye to a lot of these emotions, to sadness. We're saying goodbye. We, as a species, have been promising our children that forever, having to do with heaven. You'll never be sad again, and Jesus will or wipe away our tears kind of stories. It's actually true. Only heaven's coming to earth. In fact, heaven's already here, and like what's happening is that as I started to savor those emotions, okay, this might be the last time I feel sad. What will I feel like down the road when I realize that one last opportunity I had to feel sad, I didn't take? And so I started to enjoy the experience. Not to say I'm going to hold this, but I'm really going to lean into it. And it turns out that's how to get rid of it. That's how to say goodbye to it. That's how to let it transmute and move through you, is
Yeah.
simply to experience it.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, yeah, absolutely. For me, it is the same thing. And also, I remember that, I mean, they told me to surrender.
Yeah.
And this is like, I was like, how do you do that? Like, how? just surrender, just let go of whatever expectation you have. And you know what? As soon as once I had this like experience when I was led to surrender, and I was like, okay, well, and then the most interesting thing happened when I was expecting something. Okay, I surrendered, and then I was expecting something bad to come, and then suddenly this really beautiful, experience, like a healing came, and I was laughing so hard, like really laughing so hard. And they told me also that, we can heal through laugh as well.
Yeah.
So sometimes if you just laugh like a crazy person, it's awesome. It's really, really, really good.
I survived through a very incredibly abusive few decades with laughter. And like honestly, laughing in front of an angry fist is not always the best choice physically, but on an emotional sense and on a strength and keeping your light shining bright sense. Heck yeah, it's the best thing. And I'd laugh at my dad as he was beating me, but I wasn't laughing um mockingly, and
Yeah.
somehow and I agree with you. And there's also things called laughing yoga. If you want to look it up,
Ah.
they're all over the place. Like and usually there's a laughing master. You can be the laughing master that week, probably rotates, right? But like someone starts laughing, initiates the laughing process. And I don't know about y'all, but I can't be in a room full of people laughing and not laugh. Like it doesn't matter why they're laughing after a while. No one, how many times have we started laughing as friends and just gotten to the point where we don't even remember why we're laughing anymore, but it's just beautiful. And they've actually done scientific studies on these people who do laughing yoga, starting when they first start doing it, and comparing their stats. People who have like, chronic heart disorders and dietary issues and lots of different stuff, circulation, blood related kind of stuff. They do the laughing yoga once a week for, a month or two, and their numbers are completely reversed. It also increases your serotonin levels, and have that happy juice going, and it lasts. The earlier you start laughing in your day, it's just like exercise. When you want to go to the gym and do like a physical regimen, you want to start early in the morning, because what you've done now is you've taught your muscles that you're working out even when you're doing simple office work, and so same is true for laughing. If you start your day laughing, dance before you leave the house kind of stuff, you accent the rest of every motion, every act that you do, and you can watch the ripple. You can watch the ripple move through everybody that you interact with, where you can't fake that kind of genuine smile as you pass strangers. You can see them being infected by it, and you can feel the giddy, right? It's in your belly. Jesus, I know that it's Jesus energy because I feel the laugh on my chin. Like that. It's Jesus
Yeah.
coming in because Jesus feels like laughter. You know.
Really? Wow.
Mhm. Yeah. Jesus, the experience I had with him, I should just say it real quick because he's been around a lot, and I don't know what name is really the name, because this is, everybody has their different, this individual, this energy that I understand as this is what people mean when they talk about Jesus. It's a very loving, very, very loving energy. What's fascinating though is that he feels like your best, 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 best friend that you've ever had. And there's never, ever been a single secret kept. And there's never been judgment passed. And then it's always been perfect, this relationship. There's never been any awkwardness, just pure. And you would think that after so long of separation from this amazing friend, this brother, you would think that there would be sadness in this reunion. But it didn't feel like there had been that much time. It felt truly as if in my life for all those decades, I had simply just walked into the other room to grab the pepper, but we're still talking through the wall. We're still that we never really parted ways, even though in a chronological linear fashion or way, it had been years. It's so fascinating. And he always brings laughter over every time. And this particular first time, this particular time I'm thinking about um that first time he came through, I was incredibly depressed. I was incredibly depressed, and I was just so unhappy. And I was asking, pleading with whoever was listening to make my heart stop. Just let me stop being alive. Just please. And I was so, so, so depressed. And then Jesus showed up. And what he did is he picked up there's no fan, there was no window open, there was nothing like that going on. I felt him and I saw my blanket, I was in bed, and I saw the corner of my blanket raise up, slap me in the face, and then it did it a second time. There was nobody in there. I mean, that was and when
Yeah.
I immediately started to belly laugh. I immediately started to laugh in the deepest way, like you'd been laughing for, minutes at the very least, and I turned to see him there. And he's always standing there. That's the message that he's always at our right. He's always at your right. He's always here because he's not a separate entity from us. He is us. And so when people talk about these things, they're talking about their ability to connect with that element of themselves because there is no separation. I didn't expect to go on that tangent. I just felt kind of guided to go there. So, oh, the last part I'm
Wow.
supposed to say before I forget, the universe wastes nothing. There are no bad guys. There are no good guys because everyone is part of this family. So thank you. Sorry. Go ahead.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. It was so beautiful. I really, I felt your story is like, wow. Yes, and that's true. This is the Christ consciousness, and we are all part of it. That's true. And we are embodied more and more now because of the light that's coming from the all the suns.
Yeah. Yeah. The
You
solar.
know, the solar flares and
No, go ahead, please.
no, just with the solar flares and it's like lighting up this Christ consciousness we have within us.
And we're calling these things to us. And I agree. I love that you brought up and highlighted so well throughout this conversation that how important the suns are and us connecting to them. And the first thing I actually realized that people were talking about this stuff was because of the Lionsgate. And speaking of Lyran, um, and I could sense that. Like I was one of those people that didn't believe in astrology because what they say I am, I still don't really resonate with all the way. But so I didn't look. I didn't notice those things until but I did notice Lionsgate. Around Lionsgate every year was when I become really suicidal, actually. And it was like PTSD for me. I would have flashes of things coming up that needed to be looked at and healed, and it was overwhelming for me. Um, before I found out Lionsgate's here to help us. And that and the reason that Lionsgate works the way that it does is because our sun Sol lines up with the Syrian sun and
Mm.
it amplifies what's happening from that. This segues into what's going to happen on the last day of this month. Every 4 years only does the 29th occur. It's a leap year. And
Okay.
yeah, and this leap day on the 29th, the dark sun, Saturn, goes behind our sun, Sol. And this amplification of these two suns together is the vision I was given. This is the end of the vision, this part, because it happened on the 27th, and then it's going to happen on the 22nd. And then the last part of the story is these two sons on the 29th, um, is that it's the birth of the golden child is what it happens. And so I don't know what that means. I just know that it's a celebration and everyone was really excited, the energy when it was being shown these visions. And then I found the conjunctions were really in alignment with the story that I was shown. So there's another awesome window there. And one more thing before I forget to mention this is that we're in a really amazing energy place today, tomorrow, and the next couple of days. But the full moon, pardon me, the new moon, is also being celebrated the same day as the Chinese New Year this year, the year of the dragon.
Yes.
Yeah.
The dragon. Yes. The dragons, I'm also drawn to when I meditate. Actually, it turns out I also like we have our own dragons. So the dragon that is mine is coming by, and it's very, very, really, I mean, beautiful. This loving energy, and yeah. So I mean,
It's awesome. What element is your dragon? Like, is it light, water, fire? There's a lot of different
yeah, I think it's air,
air. Oh, cool. Cool.
and it's working with cleaning the air.
Mine's water.
Oh, okay. So they are, as I understand, the 13 dragons that came out the inner Earth at this moment in January. They started to clean the Earth with mostly, this like low level emotions, like dense emotions kind of stuff. But also, I'm getting that they are kind of trying to clean the pollution as well. So.
Awesome. That makes a lot
Mm.
of sense. That is one of the parts of my first incarnation here that I remember the clearest was it was very, very, very long ago. And the air was much different then. That was like the main characteristic that's noticeable. I can tell where that I'm there because how the air is. It's a lot different now.
Yeah, it was crystalline.
Yeah.
Do you remember the small crystals
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, the sky
It's
sparkled.
so clean, right?
Yeah. It still sparkles. The sky still sparkles. It's just not like it used to.
No,
Yeah.
no, but it will.
Sorry.
It will be.
Yes. That's what I just said at the same time that you said that I said it will again. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so you just recently started doing this healing on your family and stuff. Is this something that you're gonna do you're doing professionally, or is this some are you practicing and
Yes, I actually I want to do this professionally. I'm at the moment I'm building my website, so I could offer because I noticed I can also do that online. The energy doesn't matter. It can also move online and yeah, I also I have done this with my family back in Moldova, the country I'm from here from Denmark, and I think I helped them. So I would like to help more people. So
yes.
that's why I will be putting,
I'd
I
love
mean,
for there to be a
offering my
way.
services online. Yes, thank you for asking.
Is there a way for people to connect with you or currently, or you're just kind of when your website's done, then we'll come back to this video and maybe post it in the comments at that time or
Yeah, I think so. Just because I'm finishing the website like these days. Actually, I was guided to finish the website before today's show by my guides, but I didn't have time
okay.
because yeah, I was going through some activations, and I felt really tired
Yes.
a couple of days. I was really really tired, and because I asked to be connected to universities on Sirius, so I would have more knowledge, and also I could also read the Akash,
Uh,
and yeah, so we shall see.
well, I mean, in all perfect timing, yeah. If anyone isn't interested in connecting with her, just you can leave a comment. Maybe we'll encourage that we'll go back and look at those comments and see maybe that's a way to connect with
Yes,
her.
definitely. Sure. If there is somebody interested in some kind of session at this moment before my website comes alive, then I will be gladly doing that
I don't know.
through this video. Sure. I mean,
I don't mean to push pressure you. I was just trying. I felt like there was going to be a question about how to get a hold of you, so I was just um, it's beautiful to see that you're blooming and letting yourself stand in your power in the way that you have been doing, and like to watch you blossom and you know, I would say that the most pure, amazing souls are the most hesitant, and that's actually the message I've been given for a while now, is the channeled message is the reluctant leaders are the leaders of today.
oh my God. If that's true, then I'm the most, I mean, of them all. I stand in the back of the line of being the most, unconfident still and hesitant and, and both my son and my husband and some other family members, they're like, go do it. You're great. You're great. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I should just wait for a couple of years. Maybe I will get better, kind of stuff. And also, even my guides, they are pushing me, really. I mean, kind of like politely, not, I feel really loved, but I mean, they're kind of like, you should do that. You should do that. And I'm like, okay, maybe now I really should do that,
I
Yeah.
can I can say from personal experience that when I don't listen to my guides about things like that, then it crashes in because so I did the same thing with not doing YouTube. I didn't want to do YouTube. I don't like being on the screen. I'm not that person. I still feel like I want to be the one taking the picture, the video. I don't, that's how I've always been. Most of the photographs of me growing up is a blur because I'm ducking. I'm getting out of the camera. And, so I had my own stuff about that. And, so I kept saying no, to spirit, and you can do that. You don't have to do any of this stuff. Though, when it was really the encouragement from my guides and spirit became strongest, and I did do it, I found that I had a lot to do really fast because I delayed, you know,
Yeah.
and so I found that not doing it. And again, listen to your own discernment, listen into what you're hearing. You know, the things that we're talking about aren't about going and burning someone's house. This is talking about things like, I don't know why I told that joke. I hope that wasn't in poor taste. Um, is that we get guidance that sometimes doesn't feel good only because I am not, I'm now in that moment the most confident person, or I don't feel like that maybe this is a job that's suited for me. Just as you said.
Yes, and I have actually the perfect example because I was guided to do the website 2 weeks before. And I was like, I still have time because it's like 2, 3 days for me, I could. And then they were like, no, next week it won't be so good for you. And I was like, okay, well, no, I need 3 days. And then I understood, looking back, I had this activation, some healings where I really felt tired, I really felt like I needed to lie down a lot during the day. So I wasn't able to do anything, that's why I delayed. And I was like, okay, maybe I should have actually listened to you and done it, before when you told me to do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're always, it's like, and they told me, okay, so it's a learning for you.
Yes.
So it's a learning process how to, listen to us and it's your own discernment, but I mean, it's for your highest good. And sometimes just do not overanalyze it. Just, okay, pass it through your heart for discernment, of course. But I mean, if it feels right, then just do it.
Right. Yeah. And it could be something simple. A simple example, I started to get this energy coming in that like, and I didn't at that time, it was early enough in my experience that I didn't understand. I didn't have trust in self enough to I didn't like I didn't say I'm being channeled this information. I'm just this something or someone was kept bringing in this energy of I need to uh put some windshield wiper fluid in the truck. And I had just done that. Okay, it wouldn't stop, it wouldn't stop. And so I went and bought some more. Sure, I got some more windshield wiper fluid. I put it on the on the deck and like the porch, and I didn't actually put it in the truck. And I kept, you should go do that. And it's like I'm I just filled it up. I'm fine. And what, it's not an emergency if I did that kind of thing and I didn't do anything about it. Turns out someone had come and put a cap underneath my accelerator. And I would have seen it if I had opened the hood of my truck, but I didn't. And at
Yeah.
this point, I was going very, very fast and it wouldn't slow down. It kept speeding up more and more and more. And I didn't know how to turn the car off. While it's in motion, I didn't know you can put it, I didn't know to put it in neutral. Um, anyway, I had my daughter in the car and she's screaming, this is my dream. We're gonna die. She kept screaming that. And I was like, ah, oh my goodness. And like, there was a whole thing. I got an energy came in and stopped me from pulling. I was going to pull into a field. We're in kind of like some really crazy roads in this farmland. Anyway, I listened to that guidance. And then when I did resolve the problem and was driving back, I saw that it was actually like a 4 to 5 foot drop off that I would have taken. It was an optical illusion. Anyway, it's
Wow,
simple things like this that can
crazy.
be a very important guidance.
Wow. I mean, it is so crazy. And now I'm not sure if I should share it, but I'm getting the feeling that there is somebody who needs a healing, and I'm getting really hot.
I see
So
it.
I don't know if it resonates. I can pass this healing to whoever needs it. Shall
Please.
I do it? I
All
don't know.
those who are in consent of this healing to come through, this energy can come through in this way. I do this over Zoom as well. Just, say I consent or me or anything. You don't have to type it. And yeah, please, please, by all means, I'm going to turn off my mic so I won't interrupt you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, my guys, for sharing this with me.
Thank you. Wow. Well, I felt that. Thank you very much.
You felt that?
I did feel that. I felt connecting to you and I felt I think we participated together in something that was really cool. I'm
I
very
actually,
definitely.
I'm so hot. I started sweating
Well, if that
because
was a perfect time to close the call, if you'd like. We've been
yeah,
talking for an hour and 26 minutes.
yes,
Well, I guess we've been live for probably more like an hour and 19 minutes. I think we joined early.
I get that this would be a quantum healing, and then if the persons could listen to this video again and they consent, then they could get the healing again.
So this is a timeless healing. So just that's awesome. Anyone who would like to uh, come back to this in a replay, you can still connect to this frequency. I love these. That happen. It really does. And you can, when you do that, if you've already joined and you can repeat, and I find that you find your quantum self it echoed. So you can like you join more and more people at the same time. Many of those people are you each time that you had joined it. It's really cool when we do that. Thank you for that beautiful gift.
Thank you for accepting it. And I also thank my guides. And I also thank myself that I actually listened to them because I wasn't sure what is happening. I was getting so hot.
Yes.
And then I remembered asking them, what is happening? And they told me, it is a healing for someone. You should say that there is a healing for someone coming through. So
There are many people having said thank you, and also they were saying please and yes. So thank you very much. Everyone got, I still feeling it. I am still feeling it. Thank you for joining us in this call today, sweetheart. This has been so much fun being here with you. Um, again, I'm sure that we'll be having her on again, by the way, for anyone. So if you can't, if you're interested to connect with her, you'll find her again around, so
thank you.
thank
It
you
was
so
a pleasure.
much. And guys, I know that right now we're having an increase in such and symptom kind of experience. Ride the waves, man. There's some stuff coming in. I noticed a lot of people, a lot of us aren't resonating with food right now. Like we're just not. You can call it an unplanned fast. You can call it whatever you'd like. No appetite. I saw it come up a little bit here and there. There's a lot of stuff like that. I feel like that we're preparing our bodies for an experience, and I feel like that experience is we're in the window of it now, really. Um, though tomorrow's 8/8. For the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere, it's already 8/8 because it's the 8 year. There's a lot of stuff coming in from this, so. Just and then that's also moving into the new moon on the 9th, and that's the Chinese New Year, and it's the year of the dragon officially. Before I forget to say this, I also we our tickets are available for the celebration that we're having here. Where I'm at here, we're having a party. And we're in the alignment of the totality of the solar eclipse on the 8th of April. So we're having a party from the 4th to the 8th. Um, I haven't typed in, I don't think yet, any information into this video yet because we're gonna go restream, and then go on Facebook and YouTube. But once more, it's not cooperating. So I'll go back and add that information for anyone who wants to join us. Those tickets are going to be available for sale until March 17th, till St. Patrick's Day. The reason we have a cutoff date is because the food goes to, or the money goes to buying food for y'all. And so I need to know how much to buy. And so, and how that worked out. So anyone who's interested, I hope to see you here at the 152 acres of mountainous forest. Are you announcing this?
I really want to do that. Yes. I hope I'll be able to. Yes.
I hope that you come too. I really do. This is going to be amazing.
Yes.
Well, thank you again for joining. I love
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you all for joining us today. You're okay. You're not alone. You got this. You got
Yeah.
this.